Hey guys. So everything I had on here, I've just had like a crazy day. Tell you that. So everything that I had on here is gone for tonight, of course. And I had to set my live later for 7:30 because of course I wasn't back in time because for some reason every time I go live at 7, I decide I want to go shopping. And then not only that, so I had to get a cab home because I had like groceries. There's no way I was gonna be able to carry them home, right? So I get home, look around, missing something. My mom had sent me some money so I could get, what was it? A Swiffer, like thingy with the wet wipes and the dry cloths. Well, I had the wet cloths, but I didn't have the actual thing. So I'm like, are you kidding me? They're gonna laugh at me because the last time this happened, I lost my vape in the damn car. So I call back and I'm like, hi, this is Nikki from blah 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 road, and I said, you're not gonna believe this, but I forgot the Swiffer. She didn't even let me finish. She starts laughing. She's like, we love you down here. I'm like, really? Because I know I'm a pain in the ass. I'm bad luck. So they just laughed at me and laughed at me and laughed at me. Oh my god. I was like, I'm so sorry. They're like, oh, we love you down here. We're like the highlight of our nights. Well, anyways, I got it back. Hey Dragon. Hey Mama 3. Thank you. Hey SD. Hey Rebecca. Hey, Great Dane. Oh, I love tacos. Hey, Teresa, thank you. Well, you know the whole vape. Remember when I told you about the vape, Teresa? It was the same. Well, the cab company we have, and I couldn't find that damn vape. Yeah, so they had to return that, and now it was a Swiffer. I'm so glad though that they're not mad at me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did find the unsolved mysteries part. I'm sure. Oh, Lee. No, I didn't send any links. Maybe I should start doing that so I don't forget. Or not forget, but my cat decided to run across my laptop, so that was fun. Okay, so I got this video part. Now, all right, I think I'm back to, I think I got everything. I have some ghost photos and stuff too. Yeah. Do you want to watch that first, the Unsolved Mysteries one? Let's do that. That was it of the segment. Sorry, I'm told to check. Thank you, Wire. Oh, there you are. You have the same video as me. Sorry, I didn't even. Here, get your butt up here. There you go. Thank you, Jen. No, that's why I lost everything because you can't sleep on laptops. I'm sorry. Yeah, that song brings back so many memories. Small Catholic school, and I think this great teacher took kids for a field trip. My cousin Whitney said he was so scared to look anywhere except straight ahead. Aw, was a kid, right? Yeah. You gonna make it, Claire? Hi, sorry, I forgot to put the link in for you to join.
That's all right.
This is the video clip that you had, or do you have a different one?
No, that's the same one.
Oh, okay. Really, Warrior? Well, I'm so happy that you got through it. So apparently there's images of ghosts that they have. So I was going to show some of those. And then there's a little bit more background information. Did you find anything else?
Well, first, I think I want to say wish you a happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
Just a few stories from people that have been
I'm 39 and I still feel like I'm 18.
good. Keep it that way.
I do. I'm very immature. Who's up on panel? Great Dane Mom. Okay, Walter's not here, Claire. Okay, so we're
Oh,
oh,
that's okay.
all right, so here's some photos, I guess, of these ghosts. So I gotta show that.
This was the
I would
unsolved
never
mysteries that I had. Uh,
I love that show.
yeah. I can hurry up and check YouTube and see if there's anything else.
There might be some more stuff, sure, if you want to. I'm just gonna look at these photos that apparently have ghosts in them. Hmm.
There's a long delay.
Oh, do you see it?
Um,
This one here? Small, eh? And there's that one. Okay, I'll share this
there's
one.
a
It's a little
lag
bit
and there's a
better.
repeat delay. Um,
Oh, I'm lagging and stuff. Oh,
I don't know. It's weird. It's like we're saying things and it's not coming through the laptop in 30 seconds.
oh. Well, that sucks. I don't know how to fix that. Thank you, Kimmy. There's quite a few of these photos. Wow. Myrtle Plantation Ghost Tour YouTube. What are we looking at here? I have no idea. Oh shit. Oh, holy cow. See that face? That scared me. Wow. Mute. Oops. I don't have any video playing. Oh, you're not connected. There you go. Is that better?
I hope so. because it just said, I had a former coworker go, and she was standing off to the side. It was the middle of the day. No one was around her, and all of a sudden,
Mhm.
something started tugging her T-shirt.
Really? Look at this. I don't know where to go. Where to go? Where to go? There, this one here. Hold on. Wait, you want Walter too? Ladies. Well, I was like, where's the ghost? So I was looking at this picture and then I was looking here, like, holy crap, look at this thing. Shut. Oh, there's one right here too. Oh my God, there's so many. They're so small here for me to show you, but if you go on to, well, I'm on Bing, but if you go on there and just look up ghost photos, there's a boy, it looks like, or a little girl.
Okay, well, hopefully this will work. Did you hear my story about my coworker?
Sort of. Can you tell me again?
Sure. I had a former coworker go. She was standing off to the side. It was the middle of the day, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden she felt something tugging her T-shirt. And the tour guides,
Oh.
she went to them and told them, and they said it was probably one of the children wanting her to play.
Oh,
She didn't see anything else, like in the mirror or anywhere else. So, but that was kind of strange.
yeah. Like this one here. Thank you, Jackie. Hey, Mousy. That is sweet of you. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm just gonna show. Oh, you can see it. See what I mean by it's like that is creepy. It just freaks me out. And then there's this one here. Yeah, look at this one. Whoa, that's crazy because that there. Oh, there's orbs too. That there looks like that screaming ghost in the graveyard that I've witnessed, and that thing scares the hell out of me. And that's how it was, standing there on the side of a building, screaming. It scared the shit out of me. I'll never go back at night. I definitely know I wasn't wanted. Wonder if that's Chloe. Yeah, there's a lot of photos on here. Holy cow. Can't read this part. This looks cool.
Oh, I found a video where it says they caught ghost on camera.
Oh, did they? Oops.
Yeah. You want me to share it?
Yeah. Thanks, Messi.
We can try it.
All right, you're gonna share it?
Um, let's see. There you go.
Ah, here.
Oh, it helps if I hit play, doesn't it?
All right, guys, we're here at the Myrtles tonight, and it's probably not a very good night because it's been raining, and we're trying to not be in the rain. There's a lot of people here. They're actually up by the main house, but this is one of the areas that they tell you that a ghost or an apparition has been spotted on quite a few times. It's a bridge that crosses over part of this pond down to a gazebo. So we're going to come in here, see if we see anything. We're going to do a spirit box session, and see if we can
Oh
pick up.
boy. I'm like almost waiting for something to go. Rah!
So am I.
Shh. Oh, that ever cute. I wasn't
That'd be
talking
a
to
great
you,
host for a wedding.
right? That's so cute.
A lot of ducks just hanging out.
Yeah, dragging me too. I was gonna say, it looks like people rode on it. Louisiana, Kimmy.
All right, I'm going to run the K2 meter and see if we can pick up anything in the area.
I would love to go there. Hey, Benita.
Right here is where they say that the apparition's been spotted. Not picking up
Which
anything
one?
right now.
Great. No, I don't think I have Indigo Halo. Is it on YouTube?
All right, let's go ahead and turn the spirit box on and see if we can come up with anything. Are there any spirits here that want to talk to us?
Now the ones in here, this ain't for you. Don't listen.
If you have anything to tell us or you want to talk, just feel free to speak and we'll be able to pick up your voice.
Oh, really? Cool. And she's in
Are
Canada?
there any spirits here that want to talk?
I like that.
If so, can you tell us who you are?
girl? Must be. She's got 1 million subs.
Is that also recording? Anything that it's picked up?
All right, are there any spirits here that want to talk to us? We know someone's been spotted on the bridge, and whoever you are, feel free to talk to us.
She's got a haunted house too. Miss Selena girl.
All right, if nobody wants to talk, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Hello, Jimmy.
All right, we didn't get too much here in this area. Whenever some of the people clear out, we're going to head up to the front of the house. All right, that footage you just saw was the only actual video that I got done.
Does the spirit box also record whatever it's picking up on that mic?
It depends on what spirit box that you have. Some do, some don't.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The one I have does record.
Cool.
During this trip to the Myrtles. And the reason was, like I stated earlier, it had been raining all afternoon and it rained most of the time that we were here. And in addition to that, there were a lot of people. Now, the Myrtles is always busy in October, being that close to Halloween. And I've been there several times in October, and I had never seen the crowds like they were on this night. So with the crowds around, we found we just weren't able to do the video like we wanted, and we weren't really
Hey,
able
Wendy.
to use the spirit box
really?
around
any
the front of the
stories?
house and the side of the house where a lot of ghosts had been seen. So I was definitely disappointed that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And my wife and her friend had taken the tour that night, and I've taken the tour quite a few times, but tonight I really just wanted to focus on making a video. So when they were done with the tour, they came out to get a few pictures. And, you know, I thought, well, I'm just going to have to reschedule this video. And I do plan on going back in November, but I'm going to show you some of the things that my wife and her friend caught in some photos. Now, this photo right here is one that my wife took. And look close on the porch right above the steps. And you'll see what appears to be an apparition or someone kind of sitting there. Well, there was no one on the porch. As a matter of fact, the porch is off limits.
Oh.
And as you can see, it looks a lot like there's someone sitting up there.
It does.
It really
This photo here is one that her friend had taken. And again, I'm going to show you what appears to be a shadow figure, this time at the bottom of the steps. Now, these photos were taken right within probably a minute of each other. So this could be the same thing as we saw just a second ago sitting on top. I don't know, but there was definitely no one here. Now, this photo right here, if you don't believe in ghosts,
You'd love every
after
minute.
seeing this, I think it may very well change your mind. This was the photo that my wife took. And you'll see that when she took it, there was only one person in the photo, and that's the person on the left side wearing the red shirt. And you see what appears to be a little girl kind of looking at that person. And I know for a fact that there was a little girl who died here. I think she was about 8 years old of scarlet fever.
Yeah,
and people have seen her.
Oh.
So I applied a couple filters on here to help with the contrast, to let you see that I don't know how anyone could dispute what this is. So guys, I think that we've got something really good here with this photo.
Looks like it, eh?
And
Jeez.
if this isn't actual proof, I don't know what is.
That is insane. That's wow.
The filters really clinched it.
Look, I appreciate you watching. Please like,
You got any
please
more?
subscribe, and I'll try to get more videos like
I
this
will look
to
while
you.
we're chatting.
Yeah, just see if he's got any more in the Myrtles Plantation. That would be awesome, Wendy. Spend the night there. Let me know how it goes. I will tell you all these stories and photos are for real. It is most definitely haunted by the family that was murdered there. Really, eh? Yeah, I don't get the feeling that it's faked at all. That's crazy.
I would stay at the hotel, at the house, but I would not stay in one of what they call the cottages because those were slave quarters. And my
Yeah.
personal
Oh,
opinion
wow.
is they should respect the
Yeah.
brutality that went on there and not
Yeah.
take money off of it. Well,
So a
there's
nurse takes chilling photo of Myrtles Plantation ghost. Okay.
there's
The
one
family may
called,
have taken one of. Oh, sorry. There is one.
well, I found one that's called the misery of the Myrtles Plantation. I can maybe run it half 1.5x because it's 22 minutes long. We can
Okay.
try it. If it's not any good, then let me get it started.
Okay.
Let's see.
The music box you want? Yeah, that would be a good idea, Dragon. I would get great big sunflowers. They're my favorite. Do you have it, or did you have it to play?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
there we
send
are.
it. Yep.
One of the most infamous of these sites, a rural
It's
dwelling
low.
which possesses a past saturated in sadness and tragedy. Join us as we examine the misery of the Myrtles Plantation. Waiting until she had heard the last faint traces of conversation trailing off through the main entrance, the maid finally rose and made her way into the parlor. A regular visitor to the address, the guide for the plantation's ghost tours had just stepped back inside the foyer, having waved off the last members of that evening's party. After a brief exchange, the guide had then gathered her things before heading off herself, leaving the maid to carry on with her evening routine. Although she had not been working at the sprawling location for long, the young cleaner had already evolved what she believed to be a suitably efficient schedule. Starting off at the far end of the first floor, she slowly made her way back to the stairs, wiping and polishing until she was satisfied everything was up to the required standard. Methodically working her way down the wide staircase, she found herself frowning when she again reached the ground floor, having caught sight of a set of dirty handprints at the base of the mirror which hung there. She had first heard of the mirror many years before, during her own attendance at an evening ghost tour of the site, how it was supposed to be home to the spirits of a mother and her children who once died in the house. In the few weeks she had worked at the plantation, she had not seen anything strange or suspicious in or around the mirror. She quickly formed the opinion that one of this evening's guests must have made the prints in order to provoke conversation. Wiping away the marks, she resumed her chores, spending another hour traversing the ground floor before returning once again to the parlor. But as she stood, having placed her bucket on the floor and removing her gloves, her attention was once again drawn to the same mirror. There, directly in the center of the lower half of the glass,
I
were
love them.
arm prints, too
Oh,
small
thank
to
you.
have
Hi,
been made by a
Jumpy.
grown adult. Feeling a growing sense of unease, the maid called out several times, asking if anybody had perhaps come across from one of the other buildings while she had been busy with her work. When there was no reply, her
Probably is
uncertainty quickly turned to
Indigo Halo.
frustration. Somebody was apparently
You've
pulling a
never been
prank at
here?
her
Well,
expense.
welcome.
Taking up her cloth, She advanced across the hallway towards the mirror, ready to wipe away the dirty marks once again.
I've
But
never
as she
heard of the
approached,
mirror being
a
haunted.
small hand suddenly
at
pressed
all.
itself flat against the
Oh,
center of the
yes,
glass,
the images
seemingly from the other side.
within it. It's like
Instantly
there's a
recoiling in
thought
horror,
inside
the
of
maid
mother and
turned and
daughter.
fled, screaming into the grounds outside.
Ah,
The vision of the pale and emaciated young girl with the
Eli,
blonde ringlets, who had been
can you
staring
see
back
my
at her from
screenshot of
inside the
the
mirror,
cursor and
tormenting
Brent's
her as she ran.
Thank you.
The location that would in time become known as the Myrtles Plantation is found roughly 18 miles north of St. Francisville, in the southern state of Louisiana. When the first buildings were constructed at the direction of David
Mine's good.
Bradford, the original owner who had purchased the land in 1796, the 600-acre site had originally been christened Laurel Grove.
Is it cold?
Bradford had been a politician of some repute in his native Pennsylvania,
Thank you.
but had been forced to flee his home there due to his role in a period of unrest known as the Whiskey
Hey.
Rebellion.
Thank you.
It would not be until some years later, when he finally received a presidential pardon for his actions, that he was able to invite his wife and children to come and live in their new home. Bradford and his family would go on to reside at the plantation for many years, but sadly, a significant number of the younger members of the household would lose their lives there during a slew of localized
Thanks,
outbreaks
John.
of yellow fever. Eventually, the surviving members of the estate would go on to sell the property to the Sterling family, who owned a number of similar plantations situated elsewhere in the state. It was under the direction of their patriarch, Ruffin Grace Sterling, that the property was extensively renovated, using the finest materials available at the time. Sterling ordered that the size of the existing house be expanded, and several more buildings be added alongside it, renaming the property the Myrtles. But just as it had been for David Bradford and his descendants, the Sterling family's time at the plantation would be dogged by misery, with several members dying at a young age, having contracted tuberculosis. Their decision to ally themselves with the Confederate cause during the American Civil War would also result in tragedy, with their home being seized and ransacked by members of the Union Army. After a Sterling family member, William Drew Winter, was murdered on the front porch by an unknown assassin in 1871, the plantation was sold on to the first in a long line of short-term investors and businessmen.
Yeah,
And
so
it
they
was not
still
long
don't know
into
who
this
did
seemingly
it.
unending cycle, as each successive owner seemed unable to retain control of the property, that rumors of unwanted guests began to circulate. Over time, as an increasing number of stories involving spectral entities and poltergeist activity began to surface, the Myrtles became something of a local attraction. In 1992, the plantation would see itself thrust into the public eye, after a seemingly innocuous act by the owner at the time generated national media interest.
Thanks,
Whilst
Patty.
renewing her policy, she had been asked by her insurance company to provide photographic evidence of the distance between two
I get
buildings at the
slapped by
site,
Big Halo.
the general store and the butler's pantry. Having sent off a picture to the insurers, she was confused to find the photograph returned a week later, having been rejected. In the letter accompanying the photograph, the company pointed out that the image was not suitable, as it was not supposed to contain any people. Taking a closer look, the owner was astonished to see what appeared to be a female figure wearing a turban and a long dress, who had not been present when she had originally taken the photograph. The wooden boarding of the building which the mysterious figure was standing in front of was clearly visible through her upper body, seeming to
Yeah, there's
indicate
that
that she
photo I
was
was trying to
somehow
show
not
you
fully
guys.
formed. Bewildered,
It's
the owner
probably
went on to send the
Chloe
picture and
made.
corresponding negatives to the
It's
National
like-
Geographic
And there's an
magazine,
orb as
which
well.
analysed them and came to the conclusion that there had been no trickery or manipulation involved. This now infamous image is believed to depict the Myrtles Plantation's most infamous spectre, that of a slave girl by the name of Chloe. According to the stories which had been passed down by a number of previous owners, Chloe was a slave at the plantation at the time it was being run by Clark Woodruff. Woodruff was a former law student who had studied under David Bradford. He would go on to marry his mentor's oldest daughter and would eventually be elected as the local judge. But despite his easygoing and gentlemanly outward appearance, it was rumoured that Woodruff was a violent and abusive master who would regularly force himself upon the female slaves at the plantation, including Chloe. One day, Woodruff found her eavesdropping at the door during a business meeting. Flying into a rage when she punishment for her misdeed. In order to hide the disfigurement, Chloe took to wearing a green turban, which covered the top of her head, and privately swore revenge. Taking great care to hide her intent, she waited several months until the family was preparing to celebrate the birthday of their eldest daughter. Intending to poison the man who had ruined her, she slipped several oleander leaves into the birthday cake, which had been prepared for the occasion. But in a tragic twist of fate, Clark Woodruff would be the only family member not to consume the offering, with his pregnant wife and 2 daughters dying from ingesting the poison. An alternate version of this tale exists in which Chloe intended only to make the family sick, so that she could nurse them back to full health, and therefore demonstrate her value to the family as a household slave. She had since been relegated to working in the fields after being caught eavesdropping. In any case, as the truth of what happened came to light, Chloe was captured by her fellow slaves trying to escape, and was hanged by them in an effort to appease their master. In addition to having been captured on film, Chloe has allegedly been sighted by numerous guests and visitors, with reports of her presence dating back to the 1950s. One evening in the spring of 1987, Frances Myers was asleep in one of the downstairs bedrooms when she was awoken by the uneasy feeling that someone else was present in the room with her. Cautiously opening her eyes, she found a woman standing watching her from the end of the bed, wearing a green turban and holding a lighted candlestick in one hand. Myers herself was surprised by the brightness of the light emanating from the candle, which was powerfully illuminating the rest of the room.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
In
thank
addition
you,
to this,
Selfie.
she was similarly struck by the old-fashioned style of the lengthy dress this unexpected visitor was wearing. The intruder was staring down at Myers in a manner which completely unnerved her, to the extent that she reached out in order to push the woman away. But the second her hand made contact with the apparition, she immediately vanished into thin air, plunging the room back into a deep darkness. It is rumoured that the ghosts of Chloe's unfortunate victims have also been sighted from time to time around the grounds. More than one group of visitors has reported being approached by a small girl, only for her to fade away and disappear when they attempt to interact with her. The large ornate mirror which hangs in the parlour at the bottom of the main staircase is said to be a focal point for the spirits of the deceased mother and her 2 daughters. Staff on site have allegedly found phantom handprints of varying sizes pressed onto the glass. These have proven difficult to clean off, only to reappear hours later, sometimes in different positions on the face of the mirror. More terrifying experiences include seeing the reflections of a woman and 2 girls, dressed in period clothing, staring back at them when visitors have attempted to clean the handprints from the glass. The inexplicable marks found on the parlour mirror are not the only mysterious blemishes to have been historically encountered by the owners of the property. There are several testimonies which pertain to a large, deep crimson stain, which appeared one day on the floor of the gentleman's parlour. Possessing the rough dimensions of an adult human body, this strange impression proved impossible to clean, despite numerous attempts to remove it. But a short time later, it suddenly faded away as quickly as it had appeared, seemingly of its own accord. It has been theorized that this odd occurrence may somehow relate to the historic sacking of the property by soldiers of the Union Army. In one of the stories relating to that event, an infantryman who broke in to loot the building was shot and killed by the owners as he had entered the room in question. If other sightings are to be believed, the ghosts that inhabit the Myrtles are not limited solely to one political affiliation. A number of us claim to have seen a limping figure, wearing the tunic of the Confederate Army and possessing a bloodied leg injury, moving slowly around the grounds. In addition to the strange visions and unnatural markings associated with the main building, there have been numerous reports of ghostly footsteps making their way through the main hall. These steps are described as uncoordinated and clumsy in nature, as if the person making them is tripping and staggering forwards as they make their way deeper into the interior of the house. They are described as entering the main hall, continuing past the downstairs rooms until they meet the bottom of the staircase, where they then terminate. This short phenomenon is believed to be linked to the most infamous murder associated with the residence, that of William Drew Winter. One afternoon in January of 1871, Winter was teaching his children a school lesson in the gentleman's parlour, when an unknown male rider arrived at the property. The stranger demanded that Winter leave the premises to speak with him, and moments later, the quiet afternoon air was shattered by a series of gunshots. As the servants hurried to see what had occurred, Winter staggered back in through the doors, whilst the unknown rider fled the scene. It is reported that the dying man staggered forwards, desperately trying to find his wife Sarah and their children one last time, before dying on the main staircase. As with the other alleged incidents taking place at the Myrtles, the phantom footsteps are indicative of the benign nature of the spirits who reside there. There have been no acts of aggression or hostility directed towards those who have seen them, though on occasion, the forces which dwell within the location have proven somewhat mischievous. During the summer of 1984, a film crew commissioned several rooms in the main building in order to shoot scenes for a remake of the movie A Long Hot Summer. One evening, several of the crew members had spent many hours clearing some furniture away in preparation for the following day's filming. But when they returned the following morning, all the furniture in question had been returned to the exact positions they had been moved from. On making inquiries with the staff, the producers were assured that nobody had been in the room overnight, which had been locked and secured ready for them to use. This phenomenon would occur several further times during the course of the shoot, prompting the crew to hurriedly achieve the shots they needed, before cutting short their stay. As a result of its colourful and haunting history, several investigators have undertaken extensive research into the plantation's past. Analysis of family records regarding previous owners has produced evidence which strongly undermines many of the more popular and outlandish stories. It has been repeatedly highlighted that there seems to be very little truth behind the stories of Chloe and the murderous revenge visited upon her former lover. Parish records clearly demonstrate that yellow fever was responsible for the deaths of both Sarah and her children. Further, the unfortunate youngsters were a boy and a girl, not 2 daughters, as the legend recounts. In a similar vein, analysis of witness testimony pertaining to the death of William Winter confirms that he died out on the porch of the address, and never attempted to make his way back inside. It has been suggested that many of the ghost stories are the result of successive buyers being unable to afford the cost of maintaining the property. Taking existing legends and aggressively embellishing them, cash-strapped owners might have created the ghost stories in an effort to make the property more appealing to prospective investors. However, this theory does not seem to fully account for the sheer number of tales generated by this atmospheric and brooding rural location. There is still no meaningful explanation for the famous National Geographic photograph of Chloe, which was proven not to have been faked. And there are many other photographs which have been taken by visitors purporting to show ghostly forms moving around the grounds. As with many of the cases we have previously examined, it seems apparent that the truth of these legends lies somewhere between two extremes. A significant number of the stories are completely fabricated, or at best embellished to the point of misdirection, and yet at the same time, there are too many photographs and witness testimonies of ghostly activity to ignore. We have seen how locations steeped in misery have apparently trapped the spirits of those who have been wronged, forcing them to replay their final moments over and over again. All we can hope is that in the case of the Myrtles Plantation, with the passing of time, these unfortunate souls may find the peace they are searching for.
That's awesome. And it's, I like it how they even agreed that the photos are definitely real.
I like that they
Because,
went
I
into
mean,
the,
what's
sorry,
that?
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like that they agree as well that the photos are real because it is that haunted that it's hard to, I don't know, dismiss it. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's very hard to, with the photographic evidence and not just
Yeah.
hearsay where I tell you, oh, I saw a ghost last night at the Myrtles. Well, what proof do I have? None.
Yeah.
But if I show you a photograph that shows a ghost at the Myrtles, then you're more inclined to believe me. I'm surprised there are not more ghosts of the slaves since he was so
Yeah, me
brutal.
too.
Um,
Unless they're just not being focused on or something, or I don't think anybody's looking for them, if that makes sense. I mean, when people go in and do their investigation or just spend the night or whatever, they only do the walk or the haunted walk or the haunted stay, whatever it is over there that they're told to do, right? And I don't know.
Now, Ghost Hunters actually in their episode, and I wish I could have accessed it for us, they actually go into one of the cottages at night and set up. And there's
Okay.
video of a lamp being moved on a nightstand,
Oh, wow.
which was very fascinating. Could it have been faked? I don't know. I don't know how trustworthy ghost hunters really are.
I don't care for them myself.
No.
I
But it
never
was
have.
pretty
I think,
interesting.
ugh, just don't. Hey, Heavenly Cow.
Yeah. There's a restaurant on the site. I've been
Oh, is there?
Yes, I've been to the Myrtles once. My mentor and I were heading to Baton Rouge for a meeting post Katrina, and he said we had to stop there to buy salad dressing for his wife because it was her favorite. They have a
Yeah.
10-foot hearth that has been in use since 1796 when it was built. So the restaurant actually tries to make every dish where at some point it's used within that food. I had a migraine earlier. Wood burning hearth,
Oh,
which is pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah. And they did have a fire. They had built another building right next to about 10 feet from the house that caught on fire. Unfortunately, it didn't affect the home at all. But when I was there, we walked around just for a few minutes and I looked and I didn't see anything at that time. But we weren't really there long
No.
enough and going in the house or anything, just the restaurant.
So you
I like,
didn't, okay, so you were just at the restaurant. You didn't see or feel anything?
no, I really wasn't there long enough
Yeah.
to get a good feel, and we were far enough away from the house that maybe that's why I wasn't picking up on anything because I'm sure I would have if I had.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go there one day. I'd love to spend the night in the house.
Me too.
You
Because
know,
there's a lot of sorrow and stuff there. I would be afraid of the slaves just for what they've been through. Can you imagine how angry they are and how hurt they are?
oh, I
Being
can't
a
imagine.
white person, staying anywhere near them, I'd be like, holy crap. I don't blame them if they wanted to hurt me or scare the shit out of me, you know?
That's why, out of respect, I would never stay in one of their cottages.
No. Well, I just find it's disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful. I think I mentioned in our last live stream that there's actually a plantation that honors the slaves
Good.
when on their tours, and they do not focus on the family and try to find the good about their plantation. They
Yeah.
have statues of the children to remember
Wow.
them. Oh, I'd love to. I think it's the Wallace Plantation. I could be mistaken, but that's another one I'd like to go to just because of the respect given to the former slaves.
Yeah. Heavenly cow. She says, good thing you didn't go live in your birthday suit. Thanks for saving our eyes. Happy birthday, Nikki. Hope you
Oh, I love Heavenly Cow. That's great. That's awesome.
You were so cute. Oh, someone else came in here and I missed it. Where are you? There she is. Hey, Buzz Chris, thank you. And Autistic, what the hell did you do, woman? I can't wait for that blanket you made me. That's what I'm waiting for. So excited.
Oh, autistic is so, Karen is so sweet.
She is. She showed me part of it. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get it.
I'm trying to
There's
think
this
if
one.
there.
Okay, so I found this one thing about this nurse who stayed there. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Trying to see if there's a ghost in here. I don't really see anything. Nothing's pointed out. So it just says a nurse takes chilling photo of Myrtles Plantation ghost. A family may have taken one of the best pictures of a ghost at the Myrtles Plantation you'll ever see. It might be one of the best pictures taken of a ghost anywhere. Seriously. The Lincoln family from Lafayette, how do you say that? Lafayette?
Lafayette.
Lafayette? Lafayette? Took a day tour of the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville this past Sunday. That was in the year 2021. Like most people who go on the tour, the Lincoln family kept a sharp eye on their surroundings to make sure they noticed anything weird happening to them. Around them, sorry. As they went from room to room at the Myrtles Plantation tour, the tour guide gave them the history of the plantation, the house, the significant events that had taken place in each room, and of course, they learned about Chloe. That is beautiful. Wow. According to MyrtlesPlantation.com, 10 murders have reportedly occurred in the plantation house, and the owners believe that at least 12 ghosts haunt the Myrtles Plantation. Of those 12 ghosts, the more well-known said to haunt the Myrtles Plantation are one-time owner Clark Woodruff's wife and 2 children, William Drew Winter, 3-year-old Kate Winter, and of course the most famous of all, Chloe. Kate Winter, daughter of William Drew Winter, tragically died at the Myrtle Plantation of typhoid fever at the age of 3. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Rough time.
The painting above is Kate Winter. It hangs on the wall at the Myrtles Plantation. Remember that face because you're about to see it again in a much different way. This past Sunday, and this is 2021, Jamie Lancon, Glenn Lancon, and their family made the day trip to St. Francisville to take a tour of the Myrtles Plantation. As they went to their rooms, like everyone does, when they go to the Myrtles, they took pictures hoping to maybe snap a picture of some of the ghosts that are said to haunt the plantation. I don't see nothing. After the tour was over, everyone checked their pictures to see if they got lucky enough to capture anything paranormal. At that time, no one noticed anything in the pictures they took. No ghosts, no Chloe, nada, zilch. Not being disappointed because it was certainly a fun family outing, the Lancons headed back home to Lafayette. After getting home, Jamie Lancon decided to take another look at the photos from the Myrtles Plantation tour, and that's when she saw something in one of the photos she hadn't noticed earlier. Shown in the reflection of the mirror below, all the way to the right, is Jamie's son George taking the picture. A little left of the center is Glenn Lancon in the white hat, and all the way to the left is Jamie peeking out from behind the wall. Where's this photo? Oh. Wait. So on the right is Jamie's son. On the left is Glenn in the white hat, and all the way to the other left is what? I'm confused. It's supposed to be a woman there, ghost?
That's where my eye immediately went the first time you showed it, as maybe something.
Click here to see a picture of a witchy. Yeah, I did. I don't see anything.
I wouldn't say they're the best pictures ever taken by a long shot.
No. Oh, there, that's a bit bigger. So, oh, there she is. There's a woman right there peeking out. Shit. Wait, there's a couple. What the fuck? There's what, two? It looks like. Who are they supposed to be? There's someone else in the room who wasn't there when the picture was taken. Well, looks like two people to me. Looks like one right there and one right there.
I can't tell because you're full screen and you have a better view. But I can see like part of an arm.
See if I can make it better, bigger. Does that work a little bit better?
Let me see. Maybe I can make.
There's two. It looks like a little girl on top and then a mom. Her mom. I don't know why. I think it's her mom, but I do.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're talking about. I full screened mine to make it a little bigger.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Can you imagine if during the Civil War their furniture hadn't been stolen?
Yeah.
The spirits may have attached the memories and history that was in the furniture that was taken, because that was almost, say, 75 years
Yeah.
from when the house was built, 65 years.
Oh shit. The only one they're pointing out is the one up above, not the one down below. What? So there is two ghosts there.
Oh. Unless there was something on the furniture behind it, like a vase.
Yeah, there's one there and there's one right here, looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like that's her hair, and then there's her full face and there's her arm. That makes sense, Blitz Chris.
Oh, I agree, Chris.
Yeah. A ghost dinosaur? Oh, you do it when you can. You remember an investigation from this plantation? I'm sorry I put you to sleep, but I hope, well, at least it helps. What do you mean the lower grade portion is in a face? It looks like she has a red arm and a head. I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. Look. So that was what? Chloe? I'm assuming? Even though the image gets blurry, the more it's zoomed in, you can still see the resemblance between the ghostly image on the left and the portrait of Kate Winter on the right. Wow. In the photo below, I brighten the face of Kate floating above Jamie's head. Huh? I say floating because if she's not, then there's a 7-foot tall girl walking around the Myrtles. Well, yeah. Do you see it? That's weird. That's creepy. Oh, what's this?
Chloe, who still live here, From the neck up, she's a Black woman. She has a large earring on the right ear. From the shoulders down, they see straight through her. The house was built in 1796, and General David Bradford is the man who built the first home here. Having 10 sons and 1 daughter, like any other father of the time, he arranged for his only daughter, Sarah, to marry the man of his choice, Judge Clark Woodruff. Judge Woodruff took over the home and changed the name. The general had named it Laurel Hill because of such high ground. He changed it to the Myrtles because of his love for his wife to be very comfortable napping during the day and not having to go upstairs. This is the only room in the home that hosts all of the original pieces.
Beautiful. Wow.
If I get the chance to go, I'll take a lot of photos for you.
Please do. It's just beautiful, and the history, and just I love stuff like this.
And the hotel, I keep saying hotel, the house is actually, to rent a room is about $110 a night, which is very
Yeah.
reasonable considering what hotels.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's pretty cheap.
Yeah. And to spend the night there, if I had to share a restroom, I'd deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd clean the shower before getting in, wear shower shoes.
Yeah. Exactly that. Bring your, I don't know, like your,
The toilet's probably cleaner than a public one.
yeah. Like, I don't know. I'd be bringing the, not the saline. Oh my God. Antibacterial soap and all that other good stuff.
Mhm. Oh, definitely.
Your cousin sees ghosts. He's pretty scared about them. He's a whistle. Oh, that sounds so good. What's my opinion of the GhostTube Ghostbox app? I don't mind it actually. That's what I'm using, and I don't mind it at all. I get my answers pretty much right away. The thing is though, is when the box is talking and then it goes silent, that's when I hear the whispers as well. When I replay it back, it's creepy as hell. Because ghosts whisper, they don't talk, they just whisper. Yeah,
And probably to them, they're speaking out loud because they don't
that's
know
what I'm
anything.
thinking. Yeah, they definitely whisper. I don't know what it is with ghosts and whispering, but they do. That's what they do. Hey, Amanda. You have a video of my dog running in circles and orbs are all around in the cloud, and I have to figure out how to get. Oh, that's awesome. I gotta dig up that photo I have of my cat Mo. He had passed, and it just broke my heart. I was pregnant with my son at the time, and it just killed me. So I was distraught, and I don't know, I just started snapping around my apartment, and sure enough, there he was. It made me feel better to know he was still there.
I used to have my bathroom door opened by a cat that I'd passed. I wouldn't close it all the way, and all of a sudden the door would just be pushed open like it would when the cat was alive.
Yeah, see, that's comforting to me. Probably you too.
I always told him hello and that I missed him, loved and missed him.
I told my son about my cat Mo. I don't know, he was like a family favorite. My sisters love him, my brother, my mom, everybody loved him. I don't know, he used to like a dog. He would chase tinfoil, like I'd make tinfoil balls and he'd play catch with me. Like this cat was amazing. And he just suddenly passed. I'm assuming it was a heart attack. He died a few days before my son was born.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now
So I
that
told my son about that, and he says to me, he's like, I do see it. I always keep thinking it's our other cat, Ash. He's like, or Claire. He's like, but it's not. Because this one's got the color of Claire, but it's long and skinny with a poofy tail. So that sounds like Mo, because we see stuff in here all the time. It's crazy. I mean, I've seen someone sitting on the couch right where I'm sitting actually with an orange t-shirt on. He was overweight and bald. I've seen what I thought was my son, which was not. It was like a doppelganger. Yeah, that
have
makes
you
sense to me.
researched your house, the history of the house, to find out if anyone,
I know some things. I have to go to there's a war museum downtown, and I have to go down there again and ask her when I can get in to see the records of this house. Because I know that there's a woman that passed here. It's my neighbor across the street's mom that passed here from a brain aneurysm. And then there's these used to be a sand dune here apparently. Then they decided to build homes for people that were in the war.
the house I live in now was built in 1950. No one
Hmm.
has died here. They used to have weddings in the backyard.
Oh
So
wow.
unless someone passed and decided to come back because that's where they had their wedding, I have not
Yeah.
seen or heard anything. Although one night the cats I had were staring at a spot on the wall and I couldn't see or hear anything. So I don't know what that was about. And then one of the dogs joined her. That was back when I had Maltese, joined
Yeah.
them and they just sat there staring. And then they started wagging their tails. I mean, the dog started wagging its tail, and I was like, okay, that's strange. But
Yeah.
now that I've lost so many dogs, if something
They're
happened that
probably
would
all
be,
there with you.
well, and that's the thing, if something came up and so I felt, because I do occasionally feel dogs that aren't there.
Yeah.
Which one is it? I have no idea because I was so close to all of them.
Yeah. I can feel them jumping up on my bed and snuggling with me. And I know it's not. I'll look up purposely because I know it's not one of mine. I just know. I don't know. I just know. It's like a sense I get. Sure
Mhm.
enough, to look around, there's no one there. I get something tapping me like an animal paw. There's nothing
Right.
there. It's some animal that's passed. One of my dogs, one of my cats.
I just tell them that I love them without using a name that way. I don't get
Yeah.
scratched.
It's just comforting because I know they're still around.
Mm, it's interesting.
Yeah. Like this place, the one thing I didn't like though was the fact that I saw my son when it wasn't my son. It was a ghost. That I
Oh,
didn't like. Yeah, that scared me because the thing came out of my bedroom where my son was sitting watching TV and came right to the bathroom where I was and in the closet beside the bathroom. I saw in the corner of my eye, I saw him do it. And I went to say, Leland, you're not going to scare me. Like I saw you. But before I got to, he yelled, Mom, something touched my butt. I'm like, oh my crap. Wow, that means that thing copied what you look like, came out, and is hiding in the closet right beside me right now. And it came from my room where it touched you. Oh,
wow.
hell no. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get out of the bathroom. I was scared. What if it attacks me? What if this? And then I'm like, whatever. I'm older now. I'm a big girl. I gotta do it. So I got up and sure enough looked in the closet. No, there was nothing there. But my son usually, like when he was younger, he used to do that. Always tried to scare me. He thought it was hilarious because I'd freak out. So he always thought it was hilarious, but this time it wasn't him.
Scary.
Yeah, especially when it looks like him. I don't like that. Oh, I always see people in here. Probably the other scary thing that happened to me was seeing the shadow. This thing is massive, and I could see it with my own two eyes staring at it moving. And then I end up taking pictures of it and put it on my community tab. There's, I think, three of them. Yeah, it goes from how it was light to dark. It's creepy as hell.
I saw those.
Yeah. And I was at nighttime. The only light in the house was from my kitchen and I think this one here.
The only other thing that happened in the house I grew up in New Orleans, other than the voodoo priestess with the knife shadow on the wall, was
Yes.
one
Oof.
night this figure appeared at the foot of my bed and told me he was my oh god, my mind just went blank. My something angel.
Guardian angel?
Yes, thank you. That word just escaped me. He told me his name was Eric and that he was my guardian angel.
Oh, wow.
That
Yes,
was
Deb?
pardon?
Oh, Deb, she's like, Nikki. Yes, Deb?
What? I thought that was odd because he told me that everything would be all right and that he was watching over me. Um, I had just
I
called off
believe that.
engagement. I was engaged, called it off, and it was like within a week.
Wow.
And
I believe that.
that only happened one
I'm on,
time.
I'm on the side that you don't like. That I'm the
This,
one farthest away from the cabinet thing.
there's a side she doesn't like.
Yeah. No, I'm not by the cabinet. No, I'm on this side. I always stay on this side closer to the light. My lamp, I mean. The cabinet's over there.
Hmm.
Woo. Yeah, I figured. No, I'm good. Love you too. I'm good. I won't go on that side at all anymore. I sit here closer. I got my little light. Beep. And then it's always dark there. I don't know. Everything else is fine, but that cabinet. Yeah, there's the cabinet. I bought so many lights to put in it because it's supposed to light up. They won't stay lit. They last maybe, I don't know, 3 days. That cabinet is evil. I think you're right.
I didn't know your cabinet was haunted.
It's not, well, it is mine now. I got it from somebody. It was weird too because it came in 3 sets, three of those big ass things, and they gave it to me for free. I'm like, you really gonna give those three to me? Like, what? So of course I was like, hell, I'll take it. Now I'm wondering if they gave it to me for free because there's something wrong with it. They're
Sounds like it.
beautiful.
Sounds like they were trying to
I
get
would
rid of
have,
it for a reason.
yeah. It was an older lady that had it. I guess they were moving, and it comes in 3 pieces. They're huge, like humongous. Makes this house look really small. But I've got one in my bedroom. I got one right there, and the one over here. The no lights will stay on in any of them, and I don't know why. Well, I'm thinking because there's something wrong with it. Definitely. Yeah, that's the thing. Clumsy always goes live at like 2 and 3 in the morning. So if I'm ever awake at that time, which sometimes I am, I'll send her $5. I think that's how much it is. Clumsy clairvoyant. Send her $5 and see what she has to say. No, I didn't tell you that. No, I didn't think I did. I think I maybe purposely hid it.
It would be interesting to have at least one of them rewired and then see if the lights still go out.
Yeah, they won't stay on in any. I bought so many, and they're $8. $8 to $10 a light bulb. I'm not spending that anymore. I just went and spent $30. They're all burnt out. Like that's no thanks. So I'm not even gonna bother. It's pretty when they're lit up because I've got a lot of nice things in there.
So the
There's some
light
stuff
bulb
I
burns
inherited
out.
from antique shops. So that maybe not inherited, sorry, I bought from antique shops. Like I really like oil lamps, but I like the really like the fancy ones, the little ones. So I've got a few of those. No idea who they're from. I just got them at flea markets, antique shops. Could be anything from anyone.
I have hurricane lamps, which are similar to what you're talking about. They're oil.
Yeah, I just love them. They're beautiful.
It was always strange after a hurricane when the electricity was out and we'd have those lit and you walk around the house holding them. It was
Yeah,
like you go back in time
I
when
was just
people
gonna say go
lived
way
that
back
way.
in time when you had to use them. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of any of them though. I love them and all the stuff I have in them mean a lot to me. And some of it's expensive, some of it I'll never find again. So I don't know if it's just the cabinet. Well, I'm assuming it's the cabinets. Everything in them, though, is stuff I really, really love. Like I have stuff. I just turned 39 today. I have stuff that uh people usually get when they're older, you know what I mean? They've had it for years and years and years and years, and then like I should have got this passed down, I guess, to me or whatever. But no, I have no, I went and bought this stuff. I don't know. I love it.
I love
You've got
antiques.
questions? That's what I'm thinking. Amanda is draining it. All three of them. I did get some stuff from a gentleman who passed. I was asked if I wanted anything, and I said no. And they're like, the landlord's like, "Are you sure? Because I think you might like it. You like antiques and stuff, right?" So I'm like, "Yep." So I went over there and I ended up getting this old antique desk with this old chair to go with it. Beautiful. I love it. What the hell else did I get? Oh, I got my son an end table. Nothing bad has happened. I think the guy was fine. Like nothing wrong with him.
I'd love an antique roll top desk.
It's beautiful. You can actually lift it up. Yeah, it's from way back. It's beautiful. I got a wine set too. Um, I got quite a few things from him. What's the solution, do you think, Juju? Like, I'm not scared to be in my house, and I'm not scared of the ghosts that are here. What I am scared of is when, and somehow, it's like they drain my energy and then make me feel like crap. And then I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. And it's like I go into this depression. Like I already I'm medicated for stuff like that. So there should nothing at all. I'm happy. I'm always happy. But when that happens, it's like I have to actually think and I'm just like, oh my God, I think that's what's going on. Sometimes praying over them before bringing them home. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I told other people and assumed that you knew. I have a horrible memory. I remember that. So I probably just assumed. Yeah, I think I assumed you already knew.
You're not old enough to have a bad memory.
I had a stroke when I was 24. So
Oh,
because of that, I don't remember. I can't make new memories, if that makes sense. I remember everything from before. Everything. I mean, everything. I don't. I don't remember a lot of things. At all. Like, for instance, my sister was telling me something that happened last year in the summer, and I don't know, she was telling me about it. She's like, that was hilarious, right? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She explained the situation like she was talking to a kindergartner, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. That wasn't me. She's like, it was you. I'm telling you. Ask your kid. He said, yeah, it was you. I'm like, what the hell? It scares me. Shut up, Teresa.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's
Yeah, it
difficult.
sucks. Oh, it is. It is. It makes me upset. And I often cry about it, especially it's so hard to deal with that. Like, for instance, I'll think I've made an appointment and then I get the time or whatever and I go to it and they're like, no, it was last week for 4 o'clock. And I'm like, what? No, it wasn't. It was for this. No. I forget stuff all the time. The story behind those cabinets matters. I can't get a hold of them anymore. They moved to the States, apparently.
I put even the simplest things on my calendar with a reminder.
Oh, I have to, yeah.
That's the only way I remember some things.
Me too. Like I've got Post-it notes. I've got so many different packs of them. They're all over. I have to. Like I'll say from here, somebody said something to me earlier that I should look up or whatever, and I already forgot.
It was a manor somewhere, but I can't remember where it was either. I'd have to scroll up.
Yeah.
It scares me because my brother died of Lewy body dementia.
Oh my.
So, having those memory issues, short-term memory issues, does scare me.
Yeah. Well, I'll be
And
sitting there texting and I can't even spell the damn word. I won spelling bees every single year. Now I notice I leave the letter E off of a lot of words, or I can't even spell something so simple as wasn't or John, or you know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell is going on with me? I can't spell it. Or I'll be sitting there mid-sentence and I'll forget what the hell I'm talking about or what I was trying to say. I'll go on my phone or my computer to go look something up and I'll forget totally what I was doing. And it's like, how do you forget? You just went on there. You know what I mean? Like that, it's getting worse.
maybe you need to be checked by a doctor and have a scan to see if areas of your brain, more areas are affected.
I already had one, but they said that there's something wrong, so they need to do it again. So they gave me another part appointment, which was 6 weeks too early. So now I gotta wait 6 months.
I hate
And I
that.
still haven't got an appointment. I'm still waiting. Actually, I should really call them tomorrow. I got my pen and paper here. And start write that down because I do need to call them tomorrow. Because I do need to know when I'm gonna have the MRI, and I also need to know when I'm gonna get the appointment for the nerve. I don't know what you call him, a nerve doctor, a nerve specialist.
Neurologist?
Maybe. I don't know what the hell you call them.
Neurologist would be for your brain.
Yeah, there's one for I've lost all the feeling in my feet and my legs up to my calf. And I don't know why. So we're supposed to be getting that checked out from a nerve specialist, but I haven't heard anything. Then
That
again,
could
it's
be the
Canada. It takes months.
That could be the neurologist as well. They'll run a nerve
Yeah,
conduction test to see what's going on.
I just want to get it fixed.
Well, don't turn
I've done
40.
that.
It gets worse after 40.
Is it? One more year and I'm 40.
Yeah. A friend told me that, and I laughed at her. And at 42, I was diagnosed with cancer. So I was like,
Holy shit. I'm sorry.
thank you. No, I'm fine. What, 20 years cancer? No, it'll be 21 years in April, cancer free.
Good. That's
Yeah.
awesome. A lot of people don't make it. You would think they've got remedies and everything, like, you know what I mean? The cure.
Well, mine
Because
was rare, so they don't do research on it, but it's highly curable. Um, it's
good.
considered stage 1. If with surgery, it's all removed. I had
Oh, good.
stage 2 because a few cells had gotten out. So I had radiation treatment. They don't even do chemo because chemo doesn't work unless if you're
Oh, wow.
stage 4 at the point where they'll do any and everything to try and save you. That's the only time they do chemo. So I was very
Oh,
fortunate,
okay.
but mine was so rare that the doctor, the oncologist and the surgeon, no one in New Orleans knew how to treat it. They called all over
Wow.
the country to find out. I just went on Google and I found out how to treat it in less than 5 minutes. Going to, I can't remember the name of the site now. There's a government site that I go to make sure it goes to legitimate medical sites. And within 5
Oh,
minutes,
wow. And you had to find it.
I knew exactly how to treat it and knew before I went to the surgeon what was going to be done.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they tell you not to Google things. Ugh. in my case, I can't Google things because I'll go crazy. The stuff, it scares me.
Oh, it's medlineplus.gov. It's a wonderful site for anything
Okay.
medical. Because if you just Google, you can go to any website that'll just back whatever it is you want to back. If you don't believe this
Yeah.
is true, you can find a dozen sites that agree with you, but that doesn't mean it's, that whatever it is
Yeah.
isn't. So I definitely prefer that. Okay. We're being asked to change the subject from cancer. No problem.
Sorry. Well, I'll probably get off here. I just want to make sure I've been on here for long. 7:30, 8:30. Okay, yeah, I've been on here for an hour and a half. I have something to do, but I don't remember.
At least you keep your sense of humor. At least you have your sense of humor.
Yeah. It's like I know I'll ask Leland. He'll know.
Well, I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to log back
Well,
on.
that's what I want to do. I got to brush my cat and cut my dog's nails. That's what I have to do.
I'm bringing my dogs tomorrow.
I like doing it myself. I don't trust people. I shave them. Yeah.
I've never tried with my Great Dane, but I know my other dog, there's no way, because it takes several people to hold him to do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that.
When I board them, the young lady that works there loves them so much, and she's the only one that can trim his nails by herself. Otherwise, you need
good.
2 people to try and hold him. Now, my Great Dane, from what I understand, is extremely cooperative.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's who's been barking, if you've heard barking in the background.
No.
No, okay. Because you know how if they hear any sounds, around your initials, it'll pulsate. And every time she's barked, I've noticed it's done that. So I didn't know if that was coming through.
Oh, it might be from her. Yeah. I just didn't hear it.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining me. This was fun.
Oh, anytime. It's always fun.
We need another subject for Wednesday.
I'll see if I can come up with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned the Myrtles and you jumped on it. So.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. Anything with lots of questions and not a lot of answers, I guess.
Well, the history of the Rougarou would be interesting. It wouldn't, like, we've been on an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that long. It would be a shorter live stream.
We can put other things in it.
True. It's just I'm kind of leaning towards Louisiana because that's what I know. But of course,
well, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't live there, so you would know all that stuff. Anything that you know from your area that is, well, you think I'd be interested in, let me know.
I sure will.
And I'll keep checking things from my area.
Yeah. And any other topic you want me to help with, just send me a message and let me know. And I'm here.
I will, because it's fun doing this with you.
I do too. I enjoy it as well. Never thought I'd ever do this.
I know. It was great, though. I love it.
When you asked me the first time, I was like, sure, why the hell not? Let's give it a try.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you do things like this with someone else, too. I find.
Well, and you can bounce ideas off of each other, and you find something that I don't find, and I find things you don't find. And
yeah, true.
Yeah. I think it's a blast. If it didn't work out the first time, I would have done the second one with you and said, okay, Nikki, this isn't fun.
I think it is fun. I think we do work very well together.
I think so too. And look how far apart we are, and we may never meet in person, but that's okay. I still love you.
That's
okay. I want you to have the best, happiest birthday ever.
Thank you.
And you can stay 39 forever. So next year you can be 39 plus 1.
39 plus 1. Nah, age don't bother me.
No,
never has.
There's nothing you can do about it. So you might as, I may be 63, but in my mind, in my heart, and how I act and interact with people, I'm not an old lady.
Right?
I may need a walker when I go out in public with a chair with a seat on it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That helps me with my pain. I can walk better and I can sit when
Yep.
I'm in pain. But other than that, I'm ready to go skydiving again. I've been a number of times, and I need a place that can accommodate handicapped jumpers,
Oh, wow.
that does handicapped tandems, and I will be out of a plane again.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy. I couldn't do that. I would
I-
definitely faint.
The most the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life.
I've heard that. I've heard that. My
Honestly,
son's father did that, and he said it was the most amazing thing he's ever done. I said he was nuts.
you don't feel like you're falling, even though you're free falling for about a
Yeah,
minute before the chute opens. There's a lot of wind rushing at you, but
yeah.
it just feels like you're floating. And then the man that was my tandem instructor, who handled everything, had told me we became friends, and he told me he was going to put me on cloud 9. Well, while we were under parachute, he went above a cloud, slowed down, and stopped where my feet were on top of the cloud, and it was like I was standing on the cloud.
Wow.
So I said, many men have said, I'm going to put you on cloud 9. He literally did. And then rainbows, we only see them as halves. When you skydive,
Yeah.
when you see the rainbow on the top of a cloud, it's a circle, complete circle, and your
Okay.
shadow is in the middle. And
Wow.
unfortunately, the videographer, since we were under parachutes, we had to be so far apart, he couldn't take a photo of that. And with the tandem, my instructor couldn't have a GoPro, so I have no photo of it. But I remind
Aw.
myself so often of it that I don't want that image to ever leave my brain.
Yeah.
It was amazing. One day I might have to do a painting of it just so I'll
Yeah.
something
Or do it
visual.
again, I would imagine. I think now they give you the videos from
Well,
it,
I
don't
have a
they?
video. My video is actually up on YouTube
Oh,
of
sweet.
I'll have to send you guys the link in Discord
Yeah, I want to see it.
if anyone's interested. A
I
friend of
am.
mine had always wanted to skydive, and he passed away. So before I did
Aw.
it the first time, I called his wife, who was a good friend of mine, and I said, I would like to take him skydiving with me. Do you have a photograph that you could print that I could fold up and put in my pocket? And of course, she started crying. And she gave
Yeah.
me a photo of the two of them, and it went in my pocket, and he went up and came down. He went skydiving. So
Oh,
it was special.
that's so sweet.
Yeah, it was special. Yeah. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your birthday.
I will. I think I'm gonna, well, brush my cat at least. And then I'm gonna go steal uh Leland's take over Leland's PS4. I want to play Lego games.
Well, you do what you want, hon. It's your day.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They'll have to let me. Well, he'll be in bed anyways.
Well,
All right, you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me.
night, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.